Captain America Brave New World is being embroiled in controversy, and for once, I don't think it's deserved. You all know that I am not looking forward to this movie and that I think it's going to be a dumpster fire for reasons that I explained in my previous video. But the movie seems to have come under fire for a new reason, and that's apparently down to what the new Captain America himself, Anthony Mackie, had said. Apparently, he is accused of being anti-American after he said this.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable.
Now, it's interesting to note that a lot of people agreed with him, but there are a number of others who didn't, and do not approve of him speaking unflatteringly about America, and stating that this is not something that he should be saying, given that Captain America is all about America, fuck yeah! And honestly, these people sound like the student that asked,
"Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?"
Now, we'll talk about his comments in a minute, but in regards to the character of Captain America, frankly, what Anthony Mackie said is exactly what Captain America would say, particularly Chris Evans' version of the character. In the first Captain America movie, Steve Rogers was all about serving his country, and he did. Then he fights a big alien invasion in Avengers, but after that, we see him having to integrate and function in a new world and work within the American system. It was very much about him being patriotic and serving a country that he thought stood for something.
An intelligence organization that fears intelligence, historically not awesome.
We have orders. We should follow them.
Steve, tell me none of this smells a little funky, do you?
But then in The Winter Soldier, what is considered by many to be the best of the MCU movies, he finds out that America is corrupt. They have surveillance where they are compromising and invading people's privacy, keeping intel on everyone, killing their own who oppose their methods for their own personal gain, framing and smearing people.
Captain, somebody murdered my friend. I'm going to find out why. Anyone gets in my way, they're going to regret it. Anyone.
Killing innocents, they have their own agendas and corrupt officials in high positions of power, and through this, Steve Rogers learned that they are corrupt, in it for themselves, and aren't really his allies.
Don't trust anyone.
All this and more is something that stayed with him in Civil War. And whilst everyone else was getting emotional and acting like children, ready to sign away their lives to the American government with the Sokovia Accords, Captain America was many steps ahead of them, and he didn't trust them.
This document just shifts the blame.
Sorry, Steve, that is dangerously arrogant. This is the United Nations we're talking about. It's not the World Security Council.
No, but it's run by people with agendas, and agendas change.
Tony and a handful of the other Avengers sided with the country and government, however, and we all know how that turned out.
Let's start facial scanning for this Zemo guy.
You seriously think I'm gonna listen to you after that fiasco in Leipzig? You're lucky you're not in one of these cells.
Yes, listen to the madman who created a monster that killed countless and caused far more damage due to his own power-hungry motivations. The nerve! He thinks he can criticize someone else who didn't even cause a fraction of the destruction that he did. And somehow, he got promoted to Secretary of the State. And now he's becoming president.
Is he qualified? He's a violent, bigoted, mindless old fool. Sounds a bit overqualified. Well, get him here at once!
And Tony was too late to notice this, but Steve Rogers, Captain America, did. And they forced him to be on the run, even taking safe harbor from the African community. And by the time we entered Infinity War, he had enough.
Mr. Secretary,
You got some nerve.
I'm not looking for forgiveness, and I'm way past asking permission. And if you want to stand in our way, we'll fight you too.
Arrest them.
And so did the rest of the Avengers who once sided with the American government.
That's a court-martial. It's great to see you, Cap.
You too, buddy.
So for people saying what Anthony Mackie said is very un-Captain America, need to rewatch the Captain America movies. These movies showed that the American political system and people in power had no honor, no dignity, and no integrity. And that's exactly what the movies were illustrating and what everyone praised them for. I certainly did.
It's not S.H.I.E.L.D., it's not Hydra.
No, but it's run by people with agendas, and agendas change. What if this panel sends us somewhere we don't think we should go? What if there's somewhere we need to go, and they don't let us? We may not be perfect, but the safest hands are still our own.
So in my opinion, what Anthony Mackie said is very in brand with Captain America, and the negative reactions he is getting are exactly how the villains see Captain America. Now yes, there was a time when he was a patriotic Boy Scout like Superman once was, but even the writers for Superman realized that America is not the poster child it once portrayed itself as.
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
You're gonna end up fighting every elected official in this country.
Sure you don't really mean that, Lois.
And they changed Superman's line to peace, justice, and a better tomorrow, because the American way is nothing to brag about as it's been exposed countless times. Hence, they have deviously attempted to shut down social media so they can gain control of the narrative again. They also recently banned TikTok and are only willing to bring it back if they can own 50% of it. This just further proves that they never had a problem with TikTok, but then people were using it to expose pro-Israel propaganda, and then they suddenly had a problem with it. But they won't if they can control and suppress the conversations. Add to that, we are supposed to be having a ceasefire in Gaza, but Israel are still dropping bombs, and America is financing it and keeping it quiet in the media. So what Anthony Mackie said was true. The fact that Captain America is more an idea of what the country should be and not what it is. Captain America would never approve of this. Just because he's a patriotic character doesn't mean he will just blindly follow the leaders and do everything they say. That's what everyone hated Superman for in The Dark Knight Returns.
It doesn't matter. It's their world and they won't stand for you anymore. If it isn't me, it'll just be someone else.
Really? Who do they send after you?
Because to be honest with you, a true representation of what America is not Captain America, it's not even Superman, it's Homelander.
I'll just wipe New York off the fucking map. For fun. 'Cause why not?
But out of crisis comes change. Out of crisis comes change.
So I spent the last year really slowing down and reconnecting with myself. And I am very excited for everyone to meet the real me.
All fake smiles on the outside and PR bullshit said on camera, when on the inside, it is really run by this crazy bastard.
I show people the real me, and they love me for it. I mean, they fucking love me.
Promising they're there for the people when really, they don't give a shit. It's all about fulfilling their own self-interests.
There's always been so many things I want to do, and now I can do them all, finally. No one can stop me. Nobody.
Quite frankly, the bigger controversy for this movie should be the fact that America and Western society as a whole is using everyone's tax dollars to fund a genocide, only to then incorporate one of those genocidal people as a superhero in this movie. That's America for you. No honor, no dignity, and no integrity. And they are certainly not trustworthy and dependable. All things that are the complete opposite of Captain America, of Steve Rogers. Now tell me that Anthony Mackie's description of Captain America and his disassociation of America is wrong. I dare you. From its genocidal beginnings to its genocidal present and everything in between, it has negatively impacted the citizens of other countries as well as its own. And I can go on forever about this, but the point I'm trying to get at is, there is nothing wrong with what Anthony Mackie said. Captain America is good and someone you can trust, and America is not. It consists of lies, deceit, control, and keeping the rich people rich and the poor people poor. And if anyone thinks that he shouldn't be dissing America and should be a proud American after everything I just said, then maybe Anthony Mackie isn't the one that should retract his comments. Maybe, just maybe, that person is you. Those who are mad at Anthony Mackie are holding on to blind loyalty, when really, there is nothing to be loyal to. You're being loyal to a country that is not loyal to you. Captain America keeps his word and has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. And that ended up with him being on the run from the very people who claim to supposedly align with the same ideals. And now Sam Wilson is working with Thunderbolt Ross. The movie better explain that, because if they don't, I have some very choice words for Sam Wilson. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell right next to it if you want to see my review of Captain America Brave New World once it releases. A big thanks to my patrons and my YouTube members for supporting the channel. I make all these videos on my own, so please do consider becoming a patron or YouTube member to support the channel. And you'll get tons of additional content in return. Even if you join for free, you will also get some content as well. And if you want to see me watch and review the entire show of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or see my versus video of Captain America Brave New World and the Black Widow movie, then click on the videos you see on your screen now. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch all of you very soon. Take care.